Jah the only sovereign, him give me the key. Him a the highest king and me a follow, you see. Me no bow to Babylon, them can't control me. The system can't take me soul, just set me free. Jah the only sovereign, him give me the key. Him a the highest king and me a follow, you see.
Chapter 2. The Role of the Constitution. The United States Constitution is the supreme law of the land, serving as the foundation upon which all legal authority rests. It not only grants powers to the federal government, but also places clear limitations on those powers. Understanding the role of the Constitution in defining jurisdiction is essential for anyone seeking justice within the legal system. Article 3 Courts, the foundation of judicial power. Article 3 of the Constitution establishes the federal judiciary and defines its scope of authority. Courts operating under Article 3 are known as constitutional courts. These courts have specific powers to hear cases involving federal laws, to adjudicate disputes between states or between citizens of different states, to handle matters involving treaties, ambassadors, and maritime jurisdiction. Unlike courts created by Congress under Article 1, e.g. bankruptcy or tax courts, Article 3 courts must adhere strictly to constitutional principles, including the rights guaranteed by the Bill of Rights. Key features of Article 3 courts. Judges hold lifetime appointments, ensuring independence. Cases require a case or controversy, meaning courts cannot issue advisory opinions. Courts must operate within the limits of jurisdiction explicitly granted by the Constitution. Separation of powers and its impact on jurisdiction. The Constitution's separation of powers divides government authority among three branches. 1. Legislative, creates laws. 2. Executive, enforces laws. 3. Judicial, interprets laws. This structure ensures that no single branch wields unchecked power. However, the interplay between these branches can blur jurisdictional boundaries. For example, Congress, legislative branch, may establish courts under Article 1 for specific purposes, such as tax disputes or military justice. The President, executive branch, may influence judicial decisions through appointments and enforcement actions. Understanding these dynamics helps individuals recognize when a court is acting within its constitutional authority or overstepping its bounds. The shift from common law to statutory law. The Supreme Court's decision in Erie Railroad Tompkins, 1938, fundamentally altered the legal landscape. Before Erie, federal courts often relied on common law principles to resolve disputes. The decision mandated that federal courts must apply state statutory law in cases where no federal law applies. This shift had profound implications. Diminished role of common law. The reliance on codified statutes replaced the flexibility and fairness often associated with common law principles. Rise of statutory jurisdiction. Courts increasingly based their authority on legislative enactments rather than constitutional mandates. Confusion among citizens. Many individuals struggled to understand how new laws and regulations applied to them, especially when those laws seemed to contradict constitutional protections. The Bill of Rights, a shield against overreach. The first 10 amendments to the Constitution, collectively known as the Bill of Rights, provide essential protections for individuals. These include the First Amendment, freedom of speech, religion, and assembly. The Fourth Amendment, protection against unlawful searches and seizures. The Fifth Amendment, rights against self-incrimination and double jeopardy. The Sixth Amendment, the right to a fair trial. While these rights are fundamental, their application can be limited in statutory courts that prioritize regulations over constitutional protections. To assert these rights effectively, individuals must understand the jurisdiction of the court they are in and the laws governing that jurisdiction. Jurisdictional conflicts. Federal and state courts operate within distinct spheres of jurisdiction. Understanding which court has authority over a particular case is critical. Federal courts handle cases involving federal law, constitutional issues, or disputes between states, governed by Article 3 and federal statutes. State courts address matters under state law, such as family disputes, property issues, and most criminal cases. governed by state constitutions and statutes. Overlap and preemption. In some cases, federal and state jurisdictions overlap. When conflicts arise, the supremacy clause of the Constitution ensures that federal law prevails, but only when the federal government has clear authority. Practical takeaway. The Constitution is your ally in court. Understanding its provisions can help you identify when a court has jurisdiction and when it doesn't. For example, if a court tries to compel you to act under a statute that conflicts with constitutional protections, you can invoke the Constitution as a defense. If federal authorities overreach into matters reserved for the states, the 10th Amendment provides grounds to challenge their actions. Knowledge of constitutional principles empowers you to hold courts accountable and assert your rights confidently.
You see, me know about to Babylon, them can't control me. The system can't take me soul, just set me free. Them build them laws, the control we mind. Them take rights and blind the mankind. Fiat money and contract them sign. But when I sign nothing, Jah is my guide all the time. Me no live for the credit, me no live for the loan. Me trust in the Father, him on the real throne. The court system, them build a foundation of lies. But me walk on truth, me not compromise. I the only sovereign, him give me the key. Him a the highest king and me a follow, you see. Me no go to Babylon, them can't control me. The system can't take me soul, just set me free. Jah the only sovereign, him give me the key. Him a the highest king and me a follow, you see. Me no go to Babylon, them can't control me. The system can't take me soul, just set me free. Them want me to play the game inna the matrix, but me no fit them, me no follow them tricks. Me no grieve for them law, me no inna them mix. Jah law higher, it make me soul fix. Them say me fit obey, but me no under them yoke. Me sovereignty come from the smoke of the Father's love, we can't be revoked. Me take the oath to Jah, the chain of a broke. Now the man we stand for truth, are the real king. Him no under them rule, him no bow for them bling. Him rights come from Jah, him no need for debate. Sovereign in the courtroom, him no party. Jah are the only sovereign, him give me the key. Him are the highest king and me a follow, you see. Me no go to Babylon, them can't control me. The system can't take me soul, just set me free. Jah are the only sovereign, him give me the key.